Awesome.
Perfect. All right, Erin, take it away.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time to hop in and join us today. Jenny and I are going to share a little bit of our hearts around two incredible partnerships that we feel like are just serving women's health in this whole new way. And so we're going to talk about, not only Jenny's specific program and the affiliations attached to SYNC, but also this powerful brand partnership that both of us have been connected to with Hugh and Grace. So we're going to talk about how to help women in hormone health and what that looks like. So Jenny, can you go to the next slide, please? That'd be awesome. We're kind of going to start off with some facts. And this is really alarming, powerful information to kind of get aware of, because I know for me personally, this is something that I just really did not have a great understanding of until I started to feel some shifts in my own personal wellness. So Jenny shared some great facts here that I want to quickly kind of go over so you just can kind of understand why this is such an important topic, why it's so incredible for us to continue to link arms and talk about it, and why we need to be really linking arms as women, because this is really where our health is evolving and how we need to be paying attention to just how things are affecting us from the inside out. So 72% of women will definitely or will deal with hormone imbalance in their lifetime. That's from Dr. Sarah Gottfried. And she is an incredible woman that's doing a lot of incredible work in the health and wellness space for women, especially. The EDC reports that $209 billion per year is wrapped up in endocrine disrupting chemicals. And this is something that I have really started to learn a lot about personally in my own journey. And Hugh and Grace does a great job of educating about this along with Jenny. And this is something that we want to continue to share about and talk about, because EDCs are wreaking havoc in our products, in ingredients in our foods, and it's something that is really, truly affecting our health from the inside out. The number one trending topic right now on Instagram is hormone health, for good reason, because women are tired. Women want to know what is causing them to feel the way they do when it comes to personal wellness, and the symptoms they might be having, and all of those things that they might be potentially dealing with in their own health and wellness journey. So want to make sure that we're really talking about, obviously, helping in hormone health, but how this is really a trending topic for good reason. And then the last stat here, which I've personally experienced, and I know many women have, and I'm going to share that in my story, is that 70% of women feel like they've been gaslit by their doctors, which essentially means they've gone to their doctor, they've shared about their symptoms, they've shared about how they feel, but they're not being heard. And instead of being given a path or being given a plan or having someone help them understand why this is happening and giving them a root cause explanation of what might be going on, it's quick fix band-aids, it's being dismissed, it's giving you kind of, explanations that aren't really serving you when it comes to long-term health and what really might be happening from an inside out wellness standpoint. So these are just stats to understand and to get aware of. And I know Jenny will speak on these too, but this is the kind of information that I personally started to research and get aware of the more I started to kind of dig into my own hormone health and wellness journey. So if Jenny, you could go to the next slide, I'm just going to kind of share a little bit about who I am. My name is Erin Schreier. I'm a mom of four. I'm a certified personal trainer, PN1 nutrition coach, and I am SYNC certified. I actually connected with Jenny at the beginning of 2023. So I saw her starting to share a lot about hormone health and this message of maybe what was once working for you is no longer working. And that was my story, right? So I've been in the health and wellness space for almost 9 years. And I started my journey with serving women in the direct sales space and running through accountability groups and helping women with fitness and nutrition. And, I really was able to make sustainable, great progress until I couldn't anymore. And I was seeing that happen with a lot of the clients that I was working with. And I really found myself in this place of feeling super stuck, super frustrated, and really with no clear-cut explanation of why things drastically changed. And so when Jenny was sharing all of her amazing information about the SYNC community, the SYNC digital course, and this message of what you might have been doing doesn't work anymore, like that spoke straight to my heart, because that was really my frustration. I had no idea why what I was doing wasn't helping me make progress the way I once was. And so through SYNC, I've been able to learn an incredible amount of information about root cause wellness, functional medicine, this idea of hormonal imbalance and hormonal fluctuation, and how that really truly affects us as we get into midlife as women. I've learned a lot about my own personal wellness journey, and specifically the lifestyle habits and the things that I've particularly had to shift in order to really nurture my hormone health well, right? So I have been so incredibly grateful for the opportunity to connect with Jenny because she's led me into this incredible amount of information around how do we really truly nurture our female physiology, and what does that look like? What do we need to be mindful of? What do we maybe need to change? And how do we really serve women well with this knowledge? I think above all, one of the things that I actually just had a conversation about with our personal trainer in the SYNC fitness program on my podcast recently was this idea that a lot of people on Instagram and social, really out in the online world right now, are quote unquote hormone experts. And Jenny will speak on this. And it feels really good to be in a place where I know the education, the knowledge, and the systems and everything that's being shared here is like by women for women, done on the or like according to the science, done on women. And it's incredibly powerful to know that I really am truly in the right place. And I'm so glad that you are all here to kind of learn more about what is this opportunity? What is SYNC? What are the strategic brand partnerships that you can work with or that we work with? And how can you really turn this into a business that can really help you on your own personal wellness journey, number one, but also, in the way you may be called to serve women and in women's health. So, Jenny, that's a little bit about me, but I'd love for you to share, obviously, about you too.
Yeah, I remember when I met you, Erin. It was, the story that I hear so often from so many women, which is, why is it that everything that I've been doing is no longer working, right? And then when you're also a health coach on top of it, and you're helping women in their health and fitness, and you feel like you're coming up against the same exact issue with your clients, it's like all of a sudden you're like, what's going on here? And that's exactly my story. That's kind of what I encountered. So, hi everyone. Thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Jenny Swisher. I'm an integrative health practitioner, certified personal trainer, fitness nutrition specialist, and the founder of SYNC. My story, though, started with me in a cubicle working a corporate job circa, I guess, age 23, when I got slammed with chronic migraines. And I had always dealt with migraines from time to time, but my husband and I were newly married. And all of a sudden, the chronic migraine or the migraines took a twist into a chronification. And so fast forward through 5.5 years of everything from Botox to anti-seizure medications to 14 different neurologists and specialists, and nobody could figure out my migraines. And I finally wound up on a walk with my good friend Jen, who also happens to be my yoga instructor. And she said, "Okay, Jen, I've got one more doctor for you to see." And I said, "Jen, I can't see anymore. Like I have literally, I've spent so much time looking for my doctor house, looking for the doctor that's going to say, 'Aha, you have mold in your gutter. This is our answer,' and no one was giving me that. I was never, ever, I never felt like I was being addressed from a root cause perspective. I felt like everybody just wanted to give me pharmaceuticals or put me on birth control or whatever the case was. So she said, "No, I've got one more doctor for you." And I said, "I can't do it. Like I am burnout. I've gotten to the point where I'm just carrying migraine painkillers in my pocket to be able to have friends, maintain my marriage, like live my life. I've just accepted that this is my reality." And she was like, "No, you've got to go see this doctor. She's a functionally minded doctor," which I'd never heard that phrase before. And she said, "It's going to be different. I promise you, it's going to be different. At least hear me out." So I took her up on it. And I went to see this particular practitioner who was technically an MD, but she had trained a lot in the functional space. I always like to tell people it's not as simple as finding just a functional doctor, but she happened to be somebody that aligned with this philosophy of root cause approach and everything I needed that I didn't know I needed. I had been targeted into this funnel of neurological symptoms, and therefore modern medicine categorized me into neurology. And when I met her, it became the body as a whole and figuring out what exactly was causing this issue. So fast forward to just my first couple of appointments and getting different type of testing than I'd ever had done before. I'd had all the brain MRIs and all the things, but she did different testing on me. She did endocrine system testing. She looked at my sex hormones and different things that nobody had ever looked at before. And in that experience, she said to me, "I think I might know what's going on with you." She said, "I think we're going to just take you off of cold turkey of all these pharmaceuticals that you've been put on by all these various doctors. And we're going to really just supplement you with what your body needs." And it was really this, I mean, I literally looked at her with my eye rolling and, this whole face of just, I'm sure she was like, "Oh, great. Like this girl's never going to take me up on it." Cause I literally looked at her like, okay, I've literally been to the Mayo Clinic and you're going to sit here and tell me that that we're going to come off all these medications and this is going to be the answer. But I decided, what did I have to lose at this point? So I started different supplementation, including magnesium. We started tweaking different lifestyle aspects of my life. That's actually when I started to get involved in fitness. I started to find home fitness solutions and started learning more about nutrition. And she put me on some bioidentical hormone replacement therapy and some different things that were unique for me. And within 3 to 4 months, I went from having migraines all the time around the clock to just having 1 or 2 around my menstrual cycle. So right away, I knew that there was something to this approach. And I was like, women need to know this information, right? Well, then everything else seemed to hit. I started feeling better with the migraines. But I actually was, my husband and I at that point, we wanted to have children. We were entering our late 20s and we started to pursue that. And we were sent to a fertility specialist because things weren't happening on their own. And when I met with the fertility specialist, it was a very similar story to, well, let's do a lot of these modern medicine tests. Let's see what's going on. No one ever really addressed lifestyle. But I knew that it was all connected because I knew that if sex hormones and hormone imbalance was the trigger for my migraines, that there was probably something there that was also contributing to infertility. So I learned very quickly this very important lesson that you really are your own best doctor. And I stepped into self-advocacy after 5.5 years of feeling like I was looking for someone to own my health and to tell me what was going on. I stepped into this idea of hormone literacy and understanding what my body was doing. It took hours and hours and hours of podcasts. It took digital courses of me taking digital courses and certifications and classes and learning from different doctors and really just diving into understanding female physiology. And I learned in 2019, when I was exposed to Dr. Stacy Sims, who is really a pioneer in this space. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about what SYNC is. We're going to talk about all this stuff. But I was introduced to her. If you haven't heard of her, she's known for her famous TED Talk called Women Are Not Small Men. And I heard her say this statement that she said, when researchers are asked why research isn't done on women, their answer is because women are too complex due to their hormones. It's easier to study men because men have steady state hormones. And actually, this was alarming to me. There's really almost no research done up until the last decade on women in general. And that goes for healthcare in general. It's not just like fitness and nutrition and that kind of stuff. So when you hear about things out in the media or out in society, you hear about all these different fads, right? Low carb, low fat, sugar-free, keto, intermittent fasting, all these different types of diet regimens, and then fitness regimens as well, muscle confusion, right? Different home workouts that have taken off, like all these different things that you hear about in fitness and nutrition is all fantastic, but it was all done based on the research done on men. So Stacy Sims is one of the first pioneers in this space. I learned about her in 2019. And I knew from my own journey with hormone imbalance and learning that my body didn't shed the weight until I got my hormones in balance and the migraines went away. I started to learn when I was training clients in my gym that men were getting amazing results in 90 days doing maybe half the work that the women were doing. A lot of times men would not take the nutrition seriously, or they would just come and work out and that was it. Women were like drinking the shake and doing the workouts and they were coming every day and they were so focused on the meal plan and they would struggle, right? So I knew there were differences, and taking her course was really my first step into understanding the research done on women and how women should train, how women should eat in alignment with their cycle. So when you learn that information, you really can't unlearn it, right? Like you realize, oh, this explains literally everything I've ever gone through. Like this explains why I have faced weight loss resistance. This is why I have faced infertility. This is why I have faced even migraines or whatever the case is. And all of a sudden things started to make sense, because when you do look at the 1% of research that's done on women, and it's growing. So I should say in the last decade, we finally have more and more. You can understand why a lot of women out there are struggling. And you can understand why when they go to their doctor's office and they ask the question, I don't feel right. My check engine light's flashing. I don't have the energy. I don't have the libido. I don't feel like I used to. Everything I was doing in my 20s and 30s no longer works for me in my 40s and 50s. Now you understand why even doctors don't know how to handle that. Now you understand why a lot of times it's, well, your labs are normal, or everything is fine, or you have a heartbeat, so everything's good. This is just part of the aging process, or this is just part of perimenopause. Unfortunately, in my opinion, it's not the doctor's fault. It is research's fault, right? Like we literally have not been focused on the female body until now. But now that we can know better, we can do better. And so now that modern medicine is catching up to this idea, you are starting to see this pop up. As Erin said, we're starting to see Instagram. Now all of a sudden we're seeing hormone health everywhere because women are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And they're no longer taking normal as optimal. And so that's what we're going to be focused on tonight. That's why I created the SYNC program. I took Stacy Sims' course in 2019. I decided I needed to go even further. I had already secured personal training, nutrition licenses before. I worked in the health and fitness industry and network marketing for 13 years, helping women online with different home workouts and home programs. And then I eventually went on to get my integrative health practitioner license. But I knew heading into, this was before the pandemic, I knew that women needed this information. I knew that they needed to know that all the cardio could actually be them working against their physiology. I needed them to know that dieting and restricting their food is also working against them and putting them into hormone imbalance. Like once you learn this information, you can't unlearn it. And for me, I'm just the type of person that I have to go help. I have to go help share that information with people so that they can learn it and do better. So I created a digital course, and it was never intended to be a digital course. In fact, it started off as just a Facebook group. I just shouted it out on social media and said, does anybody want to hop in this group? I'm going to talk about migraines, infertility. I'm going to talk about my journey, how I found a functional doctor. And I was blown away with a number of women who were like, this is what I need. And so right away, I knew there was a need for this. I knew that women were craving this information. They weren't getting this information from their OBGYNs, their doctors, et cetera. And I said, well, my first question, to be honest with you, was who am I to speak to these women? I'm not a doctor. I'm not somebody who can diagnose or prescribe. But then I remembered something. I remembered this story that I heard on Ed Milet. I'm a huge fan of his. He's a personal development guy. He talked about how his dad, who was an alcoholic, his mentor, the one that helped him stop his alcoholism, was actually another alcoholic. He talked about how the person that you really should be serving is the person you once were. Then I heard Rory Vaden, who's another mentor of mine, I heard him say the same exact thing. I heard it on a different podcast. He said, you're most qualified to serve the person you once were. So I thought, well, how can I create something that is not, I'm not the doctor. So I'm not there to, prescribe or diagnose, but I'm there to just share my story and to help other women navigate this journey on their own. Because if I can lessen the struggle, for me, it was years upon years of struggles with migraines and infertility. If I can lessen that so that somebody can just go through my course or through my program and feel like, oh, wow, in 6 weeks, I learned so much, that shortens their struggle, it's going to be worth it. So I took that little Facebook group. I ended up turning it into a digital course, which is known as the SYNC digital course. We started off as just being really simple, like how to cycle sync, how to understand fitness and nutrition. And I quickly realized that we needed to go a lot deeper. So the course quickly expanded into how to find a functional wellness journey, how to know if the doctor you're working with is the right doctor for you, what questions to ask the doctor, proper supplementation, proper testing, every single thing that I could create and give you for you to be able to turn around and figure out your own ish, right? So that was the SYNC digital course. And then we kind of were trucking along, and my business mentor said, you should have a podcast. You should try to reach women that don't take your course and really just offer free information to help serve. So we started a podcast in 2021. We're now 260 episodes into the podcast. I promise you that if you have a topic for me in hormone health, we have covered it. We have covered it. I've had multiple hundreds of doctors on the podcast, functional wellness doctors. And then from that, we have just really expanded into more and more. So it started with the course. It evolved quickly into the podcast. And we're going to talk about all that here tonight. So here's the deal. If you think back to it, really, it comes down to the importance of hormone literacy. So yes, hormone health is trending on Instagram, and women everywhere are waking up to this idea that they can't exercise their way to hormone balance, or they're not getting results in the gym doing what diet culture is telling them to do, which is to work out harder and eat less. And so they're posting and they're looking for this information on social media from their friends and family. They're looking for this information for a reason. And here's what I don't want. And Erin said something earlier about this. All of a sudden, you're going to start to see a lot of hormone health coaches popping up on social media, right? People who claim to be the expert. And in reality, it's not about being the expert. It's about connecting women to the right experts. And it's also about helping women understand their bodies. Because once again, You are your own best doctor. If you can come into a consult with a physician on the level of understanding what day of your menstrual cycle you're on, what the patterns have been over the course of your menstrual cycle, what your symptoms are, how you should be feeling at your stage of life versus how you're feeling, you are all of a sudden on another level, right? And so that's the purpose of talking about really hormone literacy and this idea of really being hormone educated. So let's talk more about SYNC. We started with the digital course. Like I said, we moved into the podcast. I don't have enough time, honestly, to go over every product we have, but we have since launched courses on infertility. I filmed that with Alyssa Broadwater, who's a registered dietitian focused on fertility. I also have another course on the gut microbiome filmed with Dr. Laura Brown, who's the author of Beyond Digestion. So I always partner with true doctors and experts to really help people understand that this is what we need. We need menopause certified, hormone literate doctors to work with you, right? So we've gone on to do multiple courses. We've gone on to create a fitness program, which I'll touch on. And it's really just evolved from there. So the SYNC digital course is 6 modules. It's all about self-advocacy, proper testing. Like I said, supplement suggestions. We teach menstrual cycle and cycle syncing. We have meal plans in there. I have video interviews with different doctors in there to really help women better understand themselves, which was the whole point. And really it is, I'm telling you, and I'm not just saying this because I created it, but it's really just life-changing information for women. Every week, I get a message from somebody that's like, I'm sitting in my doctor's office. I've been waiting on this appointment. And I just want to say thank you because I finally feel equipped and knowledgeable to be able to go into this with the right questions and really feel like I'm going to get answers, right? Like all of a sudden, self-advocacy takes on this new confidence because people have that education. So that's the course itself. In the last month, I think, last 6 weeks or so, we launched virtual telehealth as well. So I partnered with Dr. Paige Gutile, who is amazing. We started off by just having her serve my existing community. So we offered telehealth consults to anybody that was within my SYNC course taking community first. I sat in on those consults, mostly because I'm a control freak and I want to make sure that everything she was saying is in alignment with what I teach, and certainly it is. And we've actually become great friends in this process. We're working on future partnerships, but she is really the missing puzzle piece to what so many women experience. So many women are experiencing that gaslighting. So many women are not getting the answers they need from their primary care doctor or their OBGYN. So to bring in somebody virtually through Zoom appointments who does an in-depth intake form and process and can prescribe bio-HRT and can really listen and get to root cause, it really is just an answer to all my prayers that I would be able to not only educate women, but also connect them with the right tools. So Dr. Paige partnership is included in SYNC as well. If people are interested in that, they don't have to. If they have a doctor they're working with, they certainly don't have to work with her, but she's sort of our resident hormone health doctor. And then also the new fitness program. We just launched a fitness program at the end of May as well. And Kelsey Linsman is our trainer for that. She's a total badass. She is a former bodybuilding competitor, strength training coach. I mean, TED talker. I mean, I could go on and on. She's amazing. And what I love most about her is, like Dr. Paige, I could finish Kelsey's sentences and she could finish mine. We have the same philosophies when it comes to following the research done on women. She's all about proper fueling. She's all about proper training and strength training. And I really, really love the product that we put out there. So we just launched the SYNC fitness program. It's intended to be a cycle syncing fitness program, complete with meal plans for all 28 days. There's also guidance in the program from Dr. Paige as well. So kind of creating this amazing community. And I was telling Aaron a couple weeks ago, like when I created the course, I teach in that course what is now the 5 fundamentals of hormone balance. Those 5 fundamentals are sleep, supplementation, nutrition, fitness, and trauma. And what's happened is, I believe, I'm a faith-based person. I believe God has placed people in my life to say, hey, I'm an expert in that foundation, right? Supplementation, you need help with that for women. Here's a doctor that can help. Oh, fitness, that's a foundational element of your program. Let me place Kelsey in your life because that's really her expertise. And we're slowly starting to see that happen even more with these other pillars. I'm meeting people in my path that are coming into my path for a reason that will all be part of SYNC as well. So we're growing quick, and for good reason, because women are looking for sort of a one-stop shop for this kind of information. Here's the thing, you can find virtual telehealth or hormone health stuff out there right now. It is very cookie cutter. You sign up, you pay the money, they will give you a prescription for progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone, regardless of really what you're dealing with. That is not what we want. I am very specific when I teach women in my program what you want. You want compounded. You want to make sure you're Dutch testing. You want to make sure that you have the credibility and verification of what you truly need, which we make sure of with Dr. Page. So what we do is we allow you, and this is kind of the purpose for tonight, is to talk about not only how you can become hormone literate yourself, if you're not already part of the SYNC community, but how you can also turn around and pay this forward to other women. So you've probably heard the phrase affiliate marketing. It's sort of the up and coming thing, right? You've heard of like influencers and that kind of thing. Well, affiliate marketing really just means that you're representing a brand or you're pointing people and referring people to that brand. So we have a SYNC affiliate program. It's called the SYNC Certified Coach Affiliate Program. And what we do is we offer 15% commission on all products. So if you refer somebody to the consults, you refer somebody to the fitness program, you refer somebody to the digital courses, and there's more, but I don't have a lot of time to go into all of that tonight. If you refer people into those, it's a 15% commission on all SYNC products. So in order to be a SYNC affiliate, and I'll touch on this at the end as well, you obviously have to take the SYNC course, right? Like you need to go through the SYNC course to become an affiliate for the program. But I'm finding that because this is such a need for women everywhere, that this is a great business opportunity as well, because you can feel confident in knowing that you don't have to be the hormone health expert in order to really, again, point women in the right direction of these tools and resources that work and the experts. But you also have the ability to refer your friends or refer people that you meet online and know that they're in good hands, all while earning a commission in doing so. So I think this is the way of the future, and I'm super proud to have this opportunity. So before I go into Hugh and Grace, let me just say this. One thing that I really value, right, is in the very beginning, we didn't have an affiliate program. Like it was just, word of mouth, like refer people if you want to. And I have learned through my background and experience in network marketing, which is different. It's like team building and the whole thing. I've learned the power of sort of the domino effect of other people speaking on behalf of your program and advocating for that program. And so when we launched the affiliate program, I never thought we would have close to 200 or more affiliates, but it makes me so happy every day to open my social media and to see people in their stories and on their social, not claiming to necessarily be the expert, but to say, this is my story and I'm so glad I did it. And if you're looking for something like this too, or you're looking for a doctor that listens to you, or you're looking for a fitness program that works, or you're looking for hormone health education, like I can point you in the right direction. Okay. So that's the reason behind the SYNC affiliate program. All right, we'll come back to that when we talk at the very end about options here. And I'm going to have Erin chime back in here in a moment, but is there anything you want to say, Erin, about SYNC before I move on to Hugh and Grace?
I don't think so. You touched on everything. Awesome.
And here's the thing, girls, when you know, I'm in my chatty time of the month as well. So, but I told myself in advance, I'm like, keep it short, keep it concise. And here we are. But that's what you get when you're in your luteal phase. Okay. So, strategic brand partnership. This is something that I stole Erin's wording here. She uses this phrase a lot, but for me personally, coming out of I'll say the health and fitness industry, especially the network marketing side of that, having worked with a company, like I said before, in home workouts and sort of like a shake company, right? I've had such incredible experience with that, but I also have been very, very burnt out with that, to be completely transparent. And so I kind of, like I said, I was involved in that company for 13 years. In 2020, I launched my course and I kind of slowly drifted because I felt like it was just so hard to succeed. It was so hard to succeed. And also I didn't want to be in the business of like hand holding and having to like mentor people to the nth degree. I was like, I just want to represent products that I believe in. And I know Erin feels the same way as well with that. So what happened though was, I launched my course, and in the spring of 2023, we had an influx of hundreds of people come through the course. I started to meet all these women that I never would have otherwise met had it not been for the sort of the affiliate marketing component and staying the course with SYNC. And someone reached out to me and they said, have you heard of this company? And they told me about Hugh and Grace. And I was like, no, never, ever doing anything like that again. I have my own brand. I have my own thing. I'm not stepping into anything related to this. And they said, well, it's not the same. It's not the same traditional network marketing as you've done before. Would you be willing to at least talk to our CEO? I said, no. I said, absolutely not. Not interested. like, I am a hard no. And if you know me at all, you know, I'm very black or white. Like there's no gray with me. Like it's just, if I'm a no, I'm a no. And next thing I know, a couple days go by and I get a text message from the CEO. And she's like, hey, Jenny, I've heard about you through our mutual friend. And she's like, I'd love to give you a call and chat with you about Hugh and Grace. And I was like, oh, and so I'm not truly a people pleaser, but I also have a hard time saying no. So I was like, okay, sure, give me a call. Probably was like so rude on this call because I was very turned off. I was like, this is not happening. I'm not interested. But she calls me, and within 30 minutes, I thought, okay, this is interesting. Like, this is interesting. This feels different. And I need to maybe pay a little attention to it. A couple weeks go by, I get another phone call from the CEO. She's like, hey, you know, is this something that you'd ever consider? We'd love to have you on board. We know you're building a great brand in hormone health. This is really aligned and we'd love for you to consider it. So over the course of literally months, and I mean months, this was not days, like months, I thought through this and I studied Hugh and Grace as a company. I studied the products, the ingredients. If you know me, I'm the girl in the grocery store that's like, nope, and nope, and also nope. Okay, so I'm that girl. So I was like, I'm going through everything. So I started watching formulator calls about the products. I started researching them online. I started asking her the hard questions, like what products are coming down the road and why do you use this ingredient in this product, right? And she was always there to answer the questions. But I started to realize there was one missing piece to what I offer in the SYNC community and for my SYNC affiliates that Hugh and Grace could fulfill. And that is the physical products to what we call endocrine disruption. Now, Erin touched on this in the statistics at the very beginning, but endocrine disruption is unfortunately huge. And I really don't think that men or women realize the extent to which it's affecting our health. As she said, $209 billion in disease burden in the US. So if this is new to you, if you've not heard of EDCs, it stands for endocrine disruptors. These are things that are in our environments through plastic water bottles, even through the curtains on your wall or the mattress you're sleeping on at night, the clothing that you're wearing. Pretty much everything contains some form of endocrine disrupting chemical. As you might know, I have a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old daughter. They both, I can't believe this, but at the age of 3 and 7, they know what Sephora is. They know what Bath and Body Works is. They constantly ask me to go to those places, which is also a hard no for me because I understand endocrine disruption. I understand that we're not going to be lathering things on our skin that could possibly harm our hormone health. So my personal story, as you might remember, was if you kind of rewind back to my functional doctor, she put me on bioidentical progesterone cream. And by using this cream, it was just a dime size amount on my wrist every single night, I started to see relief from my migraines. And that really, this was years ago, that opened my mind to this idea that if this dime size amount of a yam root cream is literally almost curing my migraines, what is the Bath and Body Works and the body washes and the makeup or the sunscreen? Like, what are all these things doing? Because those have to get absorbed too, right? So I kind of had my own journey in that. And I was on the phone with Sarah, the CEO of Hugh and Grace, the second or third time we talked. And she shared with me her story, which I'll share more of their story in a moment, but she shared with me her story, which was very similar. She and Ben, her husband, who founded the company, and also, by the way, their kids are Hugh and Grace, which is why the company is named that. They had their own infertility struggle. And Sarah learned very quickly that when she would apply different things on her body and the next morning she would test for hormones for their fertility stuff, right, around ovulation, all the things you do during fertility treatments, that it would actually alter her scores on her estrogen, progesterone, et cetera, testing. And so she was able to see firsthand how using different lotions and using different things was affecting her hormones. And so she told Ben, she's like, this is literally not okay. Like, now that we know this information, once again, now that we know better, we can do better. And so we need to go out there and educate people on this and have products that are safe for them. So they founded Hugh and Grace. And they have a really cool story that I'll touch on here in a second too with their own children. But Hugh and Grace, like, I'm going to read this because this is their mission statement. They're a lifestyle wellness brand that promotes hormone health with innovative, high performance skin health and home care products that help minimize exposure to hormone disrupting chemicals. As the leader in the hormone health movement, Hugh and Grace has trusted products that go on, in, and around your body, a health-minded community, and a lifestyle opportunity. Their community, the advocate community, is a fun, caring circle of brand advocates on a mission to transform lives by leading a global wellness movement. So we have 3 product verticals within Hugh and Grace. We have our skincare line, which is the picture there in the center. We have other products as well. We also have on the left the household care with our multi-purpose cleaner and cleaning concentrate. And then on the far right, you'll see our nutritional line, which again, these are just photos, so it's not everything, but we have multiple products in the nutritional space as well. And all of these product verticals are growing fast. We have some amazing products coming out in the next year. I'm happy to supply you with some information about that if you ask, if you want. But it's growing fast. And here's the coolest part. Every single thing that Hugh and Grace has their name on has been third-party tested for endocrine disruption, meaning it is not an endocrine disruptor whatsoever. Every ingredient in these formulations, like you can ask the question, I had somebody ask the other day, they were like, well, I need to know what the citric acid is from that's in this one product, right? And citric acid is in a lot of products, but citric acid can actually be taken from black mold. A lot of people don't realize that. So I go into our little formulation terminal and I find out that no, in fact, it's coming from lemon rind. This is where they're getting it, right? So we actually have the ability as advocates to not only feel confident in the brand and what's happening, but we have all access to all of the formulation materials, all of the information from the doctors and experts that have created this stuff. So you can see why my hard no quickly turned into a maybe, which eventually turned into a yes for Hugh and Grace. So I'm not going to go into the full story. If you guys, I do have a podcast episode with Sarah and Ben that I'm happy to share if you want to hear their full story with infertility. But the long and short of it is that after several years of struggle, both of their sisters, so Ben's sister and her sister, both volunteered to be surrogates 1 year apart and gave birth to Hugh and Grace, which of course is why the company is named Hugh and Grace. So they have an amazing personal story. They are amazing human beings, which I actually prioritize first. They're amazing human beings. I don't go a month without hearing from Sarah. She has her hands in the field. She's constantly reaching out, offering support, asking for suggestions when it comes to products, asking for how she can support you. And it's just incredible to have this amazing feminine female leadership behind this brand. And I'm proud to be part of it. So, and like I said before, it's not just Sarah and Ben saying, hey, like, let's create some products and find some people to create stuff. Because there's plenty of brands out there that know that they can make money, right? Creating stuff. They went out and they found board certified endocrinologists, naturopathic doctors, pharmaceutical people that understood how to formulate products that work, that are non-endocrine disrupting, and that they make up the actual board of doctors behind Hugh and Grace. So we have actual credibility behind the name. It's not just things that are labeled and marketed, which actually you see a lot out in the industry. So this is our strategic brand partnership, at least for Erin and I. You know, I bring people into the SYNC community. I offer business mentorship with that. So when you become a SYNC certified coach or affiliate, you have access to bi-monthly calls with me. Happy to help you, really build a brand in hormone health if you so desire, and really help you amplify that from a business perspective. And then, of course, with Hugh and Grace, both of us are advocates as well, and working to really help people bring this in as another form of what you can refer people to, another tool in the physical space, like things they can actually get in the mail, not just digital products, but things they can get in the mail to actually make a difference with their hormone health. I'm going to say this because I don't think I said it yet. We said you can't exercise your way to hormone balance, right? You also can't necessarily do all the right exercise and all the right nutrition and still be applying endocrine disruptors to your skin and consuming them, right? So I always tell people, like, if you're working out really hard, even if you're doing the cycle syncing, even if you're following the right type of training, even if you're following the right type of nutrition plan, and then you're turning around and you're lathering on the products that are endocrine disrupting, you're working against yourself. You're on such an uphill battle. So this really is a missing puzzle piece to what SYNC has to offer, right? And that's why it goes so beautifully together. And what I like to say is aligned. So with Hugh and Grace, you save 25 to 35% on all products as an advocate. There are no minimum purchase fees or business fees. If you've ever experienced anything like that before, that's not the case here. It is very different. It's actually a tiered affiliate marketing comp plan. And if you want specifics on the comp plan, I'm happy to send you a document on that. But it is very different from traditional network marketing. If you've been a part of any sort of network marketing in the past, you've got to take a deeper look at Hugh and Grace, because it is what I believe to be the way companies doing direct sales will be doing it moving forward. It's this whole concept of affiliate marketing. It's this whole idea of representing brands that you know, like, and trust. There's, of course, trips, prizes, and bonus incentives if you so choose to shoot for those. 25 to 40% commissions. That is an incredible commission level. Let me just say that. And the potential to build a team if you desire, but of course you don't have to. Like I said, it's not a traditional MLM. So at the end of the day, and I'm going to have Erin chime in here too, at the end of the day, this opportunity is really just about the fact that women everywhere are looking for help with hormone health. And like I said, we're going to start to see millions of women pop up out of the woodwork as hormone health coaches and experts, when in reality, they're marketing perhaps a product that may or may not truly be. And in my opinion, it's really about how can we set up women to understand that their health is individual, that they need to take ownership of that health themselves, and then put the tools in their hands, right? Eliminate the endocrine disruption with products like Hugh and Grace, set them up with the right doctor, like Dr. Page, get them involved in the right fitness and nutrition program that's based on the research done on women, and then get them that hormone literacy about themselves so that they can walk into those consults and understand know what to ask the doctor so that they can get to the root cause of what's going on for them. Erin said 72% of women will deal with hormone imbalance, if not before perimenopause, then during perimenopause. And I know for me, if someone had said, here's one place where you can go to learn everything you need to do to shorten your 15-year struggle with migraines and infertility, I would have done it. And the truth is, women, I guarantee that you yourself or someone you know suffers from PCOS, endometriosis, infertility, migraine headaches, they don't know why they're on the birth control pill, but they're on the birth control pill, right? Like there's so many issues out there. I could have a whole class for you on just all the things that are wrong about the women's health space. So to be able to point people in the direction of something that's truly helpful is really rewarding. You know, I used to get messages from people when I was working in health and fitness, network marketing, that were like, oh my gosh, you know, my scale is down 8 pounds, or I'm feeling so much better. And I loved those messages because I'm actually somebody who's not financially driven. I'm very impact driven, if you know me at all. And I loved those messages. In fact, I used to have a bulletin board in my office. If my 3-year-old didn't mess with it, it would still be up. But I used to have a bulletin board that was full of thank you notes from people like that. And I loved that. But this is next level. This is next level. Because every message I get, whether it's a handwritten note or an Instagram message or an email, it feels like it's being written by the woman that I once was. And it just hits different when you get the message from the woman you once were. When you get a message from the woman who feels confident now that perhaps they can pursue true pregnancy because she understands her menstrual cycle, she understands how to track ovulation naturally, she understands lifestyle factors that are affecting that. It hits different. It's awesome to help people lose weight. It's even better to help people really navigate hormone health. So in my opinion, this positions you to be able to point people, like I said, in the direction of the experts, doctors, and products without having to be the expert yourself, all while earning an income. So I'm going to go over some of the specifics here, and then we can open it up for any questions at the end. And of course, if you guys have any specific questions, we tried to make this and bottle this up into something that was really concise. But if you have specific questions about the Hugh and Grace comp plan or anything regarding SYNC, feel free to reach out to Erin or myself or whoever invited you here, and we can answer that for you. So in order to be a SYNC affiliate, of course, like I said, you got to take the SYNC course. And so normally the SYNC course is $259 by itself. The certification is $199 by itself. So normally you'd be paying $458. Because Erin and I came together to do this for you tonight, we decided to bundle it for you to offer both the course and the certification for $379. So if that's of interest to you, you're getting literally lifetime access to an amazing wealth of information as it pertains to hormone health in the course, and the ability to get certified as well, to become an affiliate. By the way, you become an affiliate immediately upon purchase. So as soon as you purchase that bundle, you become an affiliate even before you take the test. You can start sharing it with other people. So that's important to mention too. And then with Hugh and Grace, it's a $45 enrollment fee. So you're not going to incur monthly business fees. There's not any sort of quota to hit or anything like that. But the enrollment fee is $45. And then there are different enrollment bundles if you choose to do them. So some people say, you know, I'm going to start with a skincare, and they'll choose a skincare bundle, or they'll pick one product to start with. Some people will say, I'm going to start with the nutritionals, right? And so there's lots of different options. There's no requirement. You don't have to purchase a bundle if you don't want to, but it is a $45 enrollment to join Hugh and Grace. And then you can choose what products you want to start with. So a couple things that are worth mentioning here. And I popped these slides in because I wanted to make sure you guys understand this, because I know someone out there listening to this is thinking, yeah, but like, again, I'm still not the hormone health expert, right? Or I've tried some form of affiliate marketing before, or online social selling, and maybe it wasn't the best experience. And so I wanted to mention this, right? With both Hugh and Grace, and especially with SYNC, I try so hard to take the guesswork out of success for you. We have created so many amazing marketing resources for you as an affiliate. So, for example, we have a free hormone imbalance quiz. So, as an affiliate, you have a direct link that you can share in your Instagram stories and your emails. You know, you can share it to a friend. It's a hormone imbalance quiz that points people in the direction of what could be going on for them. And then it puts them into an email sequence where they're going to get more information from me on helping them with their hormones, right? And if they ever purchase the course or the fitness program, they're tied to you as an affiliate. So you earn the commission because you were the one that got them into that quiz. So that we have a hormone imbalance quiz. We have a functional wellness virtual summit. Both of those things are free. We have the free sample workout. We have free resources that you can send to people and link up as an affiliate with your unique link. Again, trying to make the marketing easy for you. And then of course you also have your own links to get people registered for everything we have as well. And then with Hugh and Grace, listen, if you do have any sort of network marketing background, if you've ever been scarred like I have from any sort of experience with trying to make an order and feeling like you're going to be locked into something, Hugh and Grace is the complete opposite of that. It is so simple to order products. Like I just got on today to order the watermelon hydrate and detox. It was so easy. I just put in there that I wanted 4 bags of hydrate and detox. I purchased it. I didn't have to be locked into anything if I didn't want to be. And the website is so seamless. So the technology side of Hugh and Grace is also seamless and amazing and great customer experience as well. So last but not least, I wanted to share a testimonial. I got permission from her today to share this because we just had her on a call this week. This is one of our SYNC coaches or SYNC affiliates. Since the fitness program launched, which was at the end of, I guess it was July 1st when we launched it. So, or sorry, June 1st. So we're just over a month from the launch of that. She put out some posts on social media, put out some things in her stories, and had over 200 women interested in learning more about hormone health. Why? Because everyone's out there looking for hormone health information right now. So she had a lot of interest. So she pursued, conversations with these women and getting them set up with the right tools. At this point, she's helped over 30 women with the SYNC fitness program and has earned $2,300. And that's just the beginning, because a lot of these women that she's brought into the fitness program will be exposed to Dr. Page and her hormone health education within the app itself, within the fitness program, and can then upgrade into a consult if they want to, for which she will also earn commission and be able to help them because she knows she's getting them the right doctor, and so forth. So the potential here is great from an income opportunity with both SYNC and Hugh and Grace, especially combining the two. But I just wanted to share that because this is someone who, she's like, this has been life-changing for me. She's like, I have had so much just health success since joining SYNC, and I've kind of changed my philosophies on fitness and nutrition and the fundamentals of hormone balance. And I want other women to hear this too. So all she did was put it out there. All she did was put it out there and share a little bit of her story and how it's helped her. And she's helped over 30 women just in the last couple of weeks, really. We were on vacation last week and we saw all these orders coming through for women that were all people she had recommended and referred. So using this opportunity in conjunction with other brands, like here's the thing, affiliate marketing is the way of the future, right? And so the nice thing about SYNC and Hugh and Grace is it's not like you're just with one company. Like you can truly represent both. You can go out to represent, I have my favorite magnesium brand that I recommend. I have my favorite greens drink that I recommend, right? Like we all have other things that we know and love. And that's the way the world is shifting. The world is shifting toward, hey, let's just share what we all like, right? So, and that's what we see on social. So with that, I would love to just sort of open it up to any questions. Erin, I'd love for you to chime in. I know I talked way too much, but I wanted to make sure that I touched on all the amazingness for both products. So if you guys do have any questions, you're welcome to unmute or type in the chat. Let me hit stop share and I can go back to any screens if I need to, but do you guys have any specific questions for Erin or for me?
I'll kind of chime in here and talk a little bit more about the opportunity and kind of what I've just been doing. with these two brand partnerships, because as someone who really has this deep passion to serve in the women's health space, one of the things that I have loved about both SYNC and Hugh and Grace as kind of a collaborative opportunity is just the flexibility with both of them, right? Like we're really able to intentionally point women to resources that are going to serve them well from the inside out. But it also gives you, like Jenny said, this flexibility to really speak to each individual person you're working with and recommend what's going to work for them based on their goals, based on their lifestyle, based on what they need. And that is so freeing as a coach, right? To be able to have that flexibility and a lot of incredible resources to really give them that personalized experience that all women deserve in their health. You know, one of the things that I've learned more than anything inside the SYNC community, and just as I continue along my own health journey, is how health is not a one size fits all. Like it's super individual. And we really truly have to serve women in that way with resources that are going to help them get the information that they need for their unique female physiology. And I know for me as a coach, right now I'm taking these partnerships and putting them into programs where I'm helping women implement both, but also create this very unique experience that speaks to them. And that feels very empowering for women. And one of the things I love very much about these partnerships and feel they're super powerful in that way. So just kind of wanted to share that.
Cool. So it looks like we got a couple questions. So the bundle, yeah. So the bundle, we're going to run it just through the 4th of July. So the through the 4th of July for the bundle, the 379 bundle. Reach out to the, the SYNC coach that invited you here, and they can send you the link for that bundle. And then Marie says, can I get this info emailed? Comp plan, et cetera, helpful to make a decision. Sure, that's absolutely possible. We have we'll have a recording for this that I'll upload to YouTube, and then we can send out that recording to you. If you're looking for additional documents like the comp plan, PDF and stuff like that, just ask the coach, the person who sent you here, and we can get it to you. Cool. Any other questions, you guys? Excellent. Well, thank you guys for being on here. I totally appreciate it. I'm super excited for everything that's in the works here. I just think there are so many women that need served that we're able to serve in some way or the other. And one thing that I probably should mention in case it applies to anyone here or anyone tuning into the recording, I actually just touched base with her today. Again, you might remember me talking about like God placing people in my life at the right time, right? Dr. Page, Kelsey, etc. The same thing happened with one of our SYNC affiliates. So one of our SYNC affiliates went through the course, and she reached out to me. I don't know, it's probably been about a month ago or so now. And she said, Jenny, have you ever thought about translating everything SYNC to Spanish? And I said, well, I certainly won't be the one to do that. But that sounds great. I'll put that on my list, and she said, well, and actually, to be honest with you, she's like, I'm an attorney. I have, she's a very successful health and fitness coach. She said, I've taken your course. I've loved the material. And she's like, I would love for you to be able to offer this to the Spanish community. So she offered to translate everything we have, every course that I've created, every website and landing page for our affiliates, like every single thing to Spanish. So she's starting with the SYNC course. I just talked to her tonight, actually, and she should have that done here in about a week. So the SYNC course will be completely available in Spanish to anybody that is Spanish speaking. And then here's what's funny, and this is what I mean by divine intervention. So she says to me, what would be really great to be able to open up the consults to Spanish speaking women, because she's like, she's from Colombia. She has a big base, I think, in Puerto Rico as well. And she's like, yeah, I just know a lot of women who can benefit from this. And the Spanish speaking community is also looking for hormone health, of course. And it's a very, very needed area. And so I said, okay, well, let me talk to Dr. Page and see, because we work with her as a partnership. So I said, let me just see. So I reached out to her. I said, how do you feel about bringing on board like a Spanish speaking doctor? And she said, oh, that's so funny you asked. She said, I've been praying for the last couple of months that God would show me what I'm supposed to do with my multilingual skills. And she said, my husband is from Colombia and my whole family, including my daughters, speak Spanish in the house. Like they speak Spanish at home. And she said very fluent in Spanish. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is so crazy. So I reached back out to Catalina, who's our translator, and I said, well, Dr. Page is ready. So, and I should also mention to you guys, Dr. Page has a staff of 3 nurse practitioners and a couple of assistants. They're willing and ready to grow with us. And right now, these consult packages that we talked about tonight, we're opening them up to about 80 to 100 women per quarter. So we do have a, a capacity on those, but we fully expect to fill that capacity this year. Like there's that much of a need. So Spanish speaking, everything SYNC coming soon. We'll start with the courses. And then eventually she even wants to translate some of the podcasts to a Spanish podcast as well, which is cool. So we have lots more coming this fall. We have a physical product coming to the lineup for SYNC that I haven't announced yet. We have a monthly membership option coming for people that want to do monthly memberships with the fitness program and Kelsey. We have another partnership that I'm working on in sort of the emotional stress and trauma pillar or foundation of our fundamentals. And so many good things. Like it just keeps, who knew that like running a Facebook group in 2019 would help more than just those 60 women at the time. But it's super exciting. It's a great opportunity for you to not only, enhance your own health, but be able to pay it forward and to invite other women along the way. So anyways, thank you guys for doing this. Thank you for listening to me chatter. If you guys have any questions for us, let us know. The person who invited you here can certainly answer them or get any materials to you as needed, especially the link to get started. So we hope to welcome you soon into our little community, but take care. Have a great night and we'll talk soon. Recording coming soon.